honestly, we felt like the program was good enough and that we were going to place well enough. We're like, hey, let's not, ruin something that's good. Like, let's try to fix what's not at 100, but a lot of it, the pacing, the mood, the vibe, the set, like there's a lot of things that we love about it. So we're just like going to make a better version of it.
I honestly think more groups should do volume twos of shows. There's no reason not to. I mean, cinema does it all the time. You go because you know the brand that they just put out and you love that theme. And yeah, people love the directors behind those different movies. But I mean, if you took Gone and you had a Gone part 2, or maybe that's too simple of a concept to do a part 2.
Broken City's done. From the first, like, what was the first year? They had Cage, Spine, Fall, Seed, Mend. This is like a series. It's all in a world. Like, think about the way that Tarantino builds universes, and there's rules in those universes. That's what they're doing. And especially Broken City. I mean, every group, especially the ones that are really successful, like those top 5 groups, they're on brand every year.
Right.
Broken City's been much more on the nose, where they're like, this is actually part of a sequence, and the sequence possibly tells its own story rather than just like the show is the show, because we're told, and they train the judges technically to judge the show of the night. No one's doing that.
No, you have a bigger perspective.
As you should, if you're smart and if you're researching. So for us, it's like, we want to stay on brand, and we definitely were on brand between Fringe and the Outlaw. Like there was a lot of the attitude and the root was there, but then we were like, well, we need to do something, like we're going to go from hip hop to a Western, and somehow it's going to make sense. Kind of like Tarantino goes from a movie about killing Nazis to about Charles Manson murders, but it's all fits together. So that's like the universe that some of these designers build. And I think that really can work well. And I agree. There's like no rule against, not only against doing a sequel, but against like trying to derive a thread year to year. So I think that's been really clear through what like Mike and Kevin have done at Broken City. And you see like stylistically groups do that, but we're trying to, like, this year specifically, we didn't compete once. We didn't get ranked once, other than nationally. Like they do those, like, they're doing the averages, and we were in a really good spot all year. So we're like, you know what, we're going to max this out. And the kids were very like welcoming to it. And that was like a major deciding factor, was like, if the kids want to finish this, let's do this. Like, we didn't finish this project.
You need to take that little 15 seconds of body, keep that the exact same, and have a side-by-side and start hyping it like in August, September.
Right.
Yeah. I think that would get a lot of traction and a lot of momentum going into it.
I think we're going to keep the things that were great. I think that letter, for example, is awesome for the upper battery. At least there's some other things that we're going to expand, but I mean, the major part, like, I think, is that body works because you look at it and you're like, that's what a cowboy drumline looks like. This is like what we were just talking about.
It dusted off their boots with the visual.
Right. They're doing specifically Western motific things as a drumline. Okay, what does a Western drumline look like and do? That's where I'm trying to get in, and that's where other groups don't, where they're like, we're doing a plie because we're doing a plie, and it works great with the music and it's impactful, but why? Why are you doing it? Versus, we're doing these moves because that's what a cowboy drumline would do. That's what a beast drumline would do. So that's like the big thing. Or like Fringe, for example, is like, do you think we could just do any movement with Fringe and it would make sense? No, it's a rap show. We can only do – how are we going to get like that authenticity? We have to do like certain movements. We have the hat where we're like doing things that a hip-hop dancer would do. So it's like, this worked, like this genre specifically worked great. And that's like always where we're trying to aim, at least with Mason, is like, we're going to pick shows that allow us to do body that is idiomatically necessary. Like, not even possible, but like, if you don't do it, you're an idiot. You know what I mean? So like, you look at that clip and you're like, that's the cowboy drum line. There's no like alternative to it. So that was a really good one. It worked great. And the music, like, just all the music we chose is amazing. So you'll be able to see it. We're gonna finish it off for real.
Love it.